Hi Sagittarius, welcome back. So Sagittarius, this is going to be your reading for mid-July. It is a you versus them spread, so I'm going to pull cards on you Sagittarius, what your hopes, fears, next steps are. Then I'm going to pull cards on the person external to you, what their hopes, fears, next steps are. Keep in mind that the person external to you is generally someone who is of significance over the next 2 weeks. Doesn't have to be intimate love, although it certainly can be. It could be platonic. It could be a friend, a family member, a coworker, an ex, you name it. Whoever it resonates with for you. Also, because a lot of this is future energy, please do come back and watch it at the end of the time period, which will be end of July, early August. You might get more messages if you rewatch it then. And if it resonates, please do like, share, and subscribe. Also, check out my other social media account, Tarot Talks with Dana. It's my other YouTube. And I have an Instagram and Facebook, all the links down below. Check them out. All right, so Sagittarius, let's get started. Ooh, okay, hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay, so overall shared energy is the 8 of Cups. A lot of you, this reading is going to resonate if you've had a recent walking away, okay? Some of you literally may have had someone walk away from you, they, and or on an emotional level, you might have had a situation where you just kind of had to, let it go or walk away until things calm down a bit, okay? The 8 of Cups often talks about leaving behind past hurt. The retrograde is going on right now, so some of you might be feeling, things bubble up that you thought maybe you were over or, you had put in the back of your mind for a long time. You might feel those emotions bubbling up or have felt those emotions bubbling up when the retrograde started early July. And it could just be a re-looking at that, because sometimes the 8 of Cups is also kind of looking back on the past kind of energy there. So that kind of makes sense given planetarily what's going on. So we'll see how this resonates. I'm going to keep it general and then I'm going to get specific at the end, okay? So your energy, starting off the reading, is the King of Swords. Could be dealing with an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, and or this is the energy you are embodying starting the reading. So the King of Swords in this depiction is kind of aloof, a little bit emotionally detached. It's like this person also has someone kind of looking in from the outside, okay? So Sagittarius, you might have someone outside of your situation or this situation that's kind of looking in on it, or it could just be looking internally to yourself, okay? Because the King of Swords is a very analytical type of energy. On the positive side, it is a very well thought energy. On the negative side, sometimes the King of Swords can be a little bit too harsh with their words or a little too stuck in their head. And so, you might be teetering back and forth between those two. So the person that you're dealing with is in the Knight of Swords, King of Cups energy. So this is someone who goes back and forth themselves, okay? So I felt that back and forth energy on your side. I feel it on their side too. I feel like this person wants to take action, from an emotional stance, and that could be why maybe they're in and out. Sometimes I can see this as like a moody energy where they react off of emotion, and so it kind of makes their actions look a little bit erratic because they feel an emotion, they act on it, not thinking it through. Whereas Sagittarius, I feel like you're in an energy quite the opposite of that, where you're almost overly detaching, overly thinking through things. And so that's interesting contrast there, okay? Because I feel like this person goes back and forth between, movement towards you or taking action, and then kind of being a little bit emotionally closed off. So how you view them. Sagittarius, how you view this person. Oh, wow. You got the King of Cups out twice. Some of you might be dealing with water energy. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So yeah, there's this back and forth. There's this back and forth energy again, okay? So you view them as the King of Cups, Four of Wands. Now this Four of Wands, it has a different meaning. This is a sexual tarot, so I'm trying to cover up the nudity. It's someone swinging back and forth. It's a different meaning than traditional tarot. So again, that energy is here. And then the Six of Swords, High Priestess. Woo! Oh my God. There is a huge bolt of lightning outside my window right now that scared me. Like, seriously. I don't mean to interrupt the reading, but you got to see this. So, hold on a second. Because you may not be able to see, but... You see that huge storm coming? Yeah. There's just a massive bolt of lightning. And then there's the thunder. Sorry about that. That was crazy. Woo! Sagittarius. That's some powerful energy, lightning and thunder. Now I got that Imagine Dragons song stuck in my head. Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. That might be important. I don't know. If nothing else, go look up the song because it's a good song. I think it's called Thunder by Imagine Dragons. How's the words go? Just a young buck with a quick fuse. I was scheming. I don't really know what that song's about. Leaving my old life behind. Not a yes sir, not a follower. Anyways, go check out that song. Stuck in my head now. So I'm gonna try and get this reading out before the storm hits, okay? So yeah, you view this person as somewhat back and forth in their emotional control or their emotions, period. With the Six of Swords here, it's like they stabilize that emotional control, move forward, but yet the High Priestess here, so still somewhat keeping things to themselves, okay? So the King of Cups is someone who feels a lot but doesn't necessarily always express it in the appropriate way. So I feel like this person is, like I said, you know, they thrive off of their emotions, and so their actions may seem erratic based on whatever they're feeling that day, whatever their mood they're in, etc. Now, how this person sees you, Wheel of Fortune, Nine of Cups, the Moon card. So I feel like this person views you as, you know what, someone that's destined for their life, honestly. Wheel of Fortune here. And then the Nine of Cups. I feel like this person secretly has a lot of feelings for you, or, you know, wishes for you, or has wished for you, feels that you're destined for their life, you know. They feel like that there is also like somewhat of both the High Priestess and how you see them, and the Moon and how they see you, talks about somewhat covering up of like the emotions. They see you as sometimes covering up maybe what the actual emotion is. So for instance, if you tell this person like, I'm sad, but I don't know why, this person thinks you do know why, you don't want to tell me why, but I accept that you're sad. You know what I'm saying? So like sometimes, I mean, all human beings do that because they don't want to talk about maybe why they're actually feeling a certain way. But this person, that's the message I got, right? So you view them though as somewhat secretive as well, but more towards their intention. Interesting. They see it on a feeling side, you see it on an intention. What is your intention here? And I feel like maybe that's hard to figure out sometimes because the person is, like I said, somewhat emotionally impulsive at times, right? So this is an interesting reading. Towards the end of July, early August, What kind of energy will Sagittarius be in? Oh. Okay. Wow. King of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. The King of Wands is your energy, whether you're male or female, because this is a general reading. It's in the upright. Five of Pentacles, Two of Swords. So there's two very different energies here, okay? So there's a sense of, in this depiction of the King of Wands and Ace of Pentacles, in both depictions, it's someone giving comfort, someone feeling comfort. You might be in a comfort zone with this person, whether they're intimate or platonic. You know, you might be comfortable around this person. I feel like whoever this is, you have somewhat of a past history with, and or when you met this person, if they're a new person to you, you might have instantly felt like comfortable around them. At the same time, there's a sense of being somewhat indecisive and feeling alone at times. So I feel like there's that back and forth energy I talked about, between feeling comfortable with where you're at and then feeling like maybe there's something else you should be doing or needing, or feeling somewhat isolated or alone internally is what I feel. For some of you, quite literally, this person might leave you out in the cold towards the end of this time period and in somewhat of a confusion state. So interesting here, and I'm going to clarify all of it and see this person's energy towards the end of this time period. Oh my gosh, you saw them as the High Priestess. You saw them as the High Priestess. Their future energy is the High Priestess. Nine of Wands. This person's going to put a distance here. Okay, the High Priestess is also someone who's not speaking. So for some of you, this person might, you know, on one end of the scale, I could read this as putting an emotional distance and basically ghosting, whether that's you or them doing it, honestly, or just not speaking. Someone's walking away here. On the other side of that, certainly not all of you are going to deal with it to that degree. It's just this simple feeling of, you know, being somewhat analytical towards the end of the month and trying to tap into their intuition as well. Okay, so I'm going to get clarification on this and see, like, this person is analyzing or somewhat analytical of you, and I want to know what that's about. So tell me what the High Priestess is. And the Nine of Wands. I burnt some sage in here earlier and it's kind of irritating my sinuses. Really? Sorry, I'm not throwing a card away. It's the introductory card. I don't know how I got that in there. My apologies. The Nine of Wands. And why the Five of Pentacles? Oh, okay, I see. I see what's going on here. King of Swords. There's two groups of you, and so I'm going to end up breaking it down into two groups. I feel like Sagittarius, some of you have a third-party involvement here. Okay. And that's what we're walking away from. Some of you don't. So I'm going to go into group 1 and group 2 here in a minute. And what's the Ace of Pentacles? Yeah. Okay. So, and why the Moon? Sorry. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go into different groups at this point. The first part was for all of you. Okay, and now I'm going to get more specific in how this may resonate. You could be in both groups. Certainly, you could have more than one person you're dealing with. One might be a platonic, one might be intimate. Both might be intimate if you're in the third party, okay? So, group one, if you have a third person involved here, because I saw that at the very beginning of the reading, and it doesn't have to be physical cheating. It could be a third person that's on your mind. It could be a third person in your family friend sector that's meddling. You know, you name it. It's going to be different for all of you. But for those of you with a third party involved, and I saw that, if you remember at the beginning of the reading, that there was someone on the outskirts looking in, right? There's someone outside of this situation looking in. So I feel like the overall energy is walking away. So someone might be literally walking away during this time period, or letting go of the hurt because of this third party situation here. This person's energy on this side is in and out, you know, with how they communicate their emotions. And that's what I felt earlier. It's like this person is very impulsive with the way they communicate their emotions, and somewhat in and out with it. And so that makes you not trust their intentions. That's what I was feeling earlier. And you see this person as somewhat emotionally distancing themselves, and I see that again here towards the end of this time period, that's what they're doing, kind of going quiet on you, becoming very analytical, even though, you know, they planted a seed here, or they see potential here with the Page of Pentacles. They might be deciding to put their focus elsewhere towards the end of this time period, even though this person feels that they have a karmic tie to you, or that they're destined, you know. They have wish fulfillment here in how they view you, but they feel like there is an underlying emotion here that they don't feel they have all of the information on, and they see you also somewhat moving forward or getting attention elsewhere. And I think that's what puts them in almost like an insecure position, or feeling insecure about this. And I think that's what the walking away is about. Some of you might be giving attention to more than one person, you know, or vice versa. But I feel like towards the end of this time period, you know, there's an ending here. There's a betrayal here within a partnership, and somebody's feeling left out in the cold here because there's an offer of love being given elsewhere. Or it's like someone feels betrayed because someone's giving attention elsewhere. Okay, do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like Sagittarius, it's you, for most of you, that's giving attention elsewhere. And like I said, it doesn't have to be cheating, although some of you it will be. Others, it's just like maybe you're giving a lot of attention to your work, your hobbies, or quite simply, you know, a friend, a family member, whatever. And this person is kind of like emotionally insecure to some degree or another. And so that makes them distance themselves, and it puts them in a very analytical position where they feel like, okay, well, I'm going to go invest my energy elsewhere then, since you're not investing it in me. It's kind of immature. Don't be mad at me if you're a cross watcher, but if that's how you're behaving, I hate to break it to you, that's kind of immature. You know, if it's not a cheating situation. Now, clearly, Sagittarius, if you've got two intimate partners here and this person's doing that, then that's understandable, okay? So it's interesting. It's an interesting message here. But I feel like I definitely see that. And I feel like this person, you know, even though they feel a deep connection, they're not going to tolerate that. You know what I'm saying? So, yep. That's group one. Group two, and like I said, you could be in group one and group two, or just one or the other. Group two, if you don't have a third person involved, it's simply being in this energy of, I feel like if you have been emotionally detaching yourself, Sagittarius, then you want to reconcile that you know, and kind of let go of whatever reason you were detaching yourself. I feel like a lot of you were detaching yourself simply because old memories, old feelings, old emotions were bubbling up to the surface as they do in a retrograde. And so I feel like that's probably why maybe you were going into your head embodying the King of Swords, but it kind of threw this person off. I feel like this person is kind of a moody person anyways, you know, or at least they're embodying a moody type of behavior over the next 2 weeks, you know, but I feel like you may be communicating to this person that you want to come together again and spend more time with each other, etc. Leave the past in the past is what flashed in my mind. You know, I feel like there is a sense of going back and forth in the situation, but this person feels destined. You know, they feel like you came into their life for a reason. They see you as the Nine of Cups, feeling emotionally satisfied, you know, feeling a lot of depth of emotion. You definitely have this person's attention. And if you're in this group, go watch the overall July for Sagittarius, because it was the person you were dealing with felt like they hit the jackpot. And I see that message here kind of again, if you're in this group, okay? What's interesting is that at the end of this time period, there's still, it's like maybe after a really painful ending, you're kind of needing comfort, you know, or you find comfort in this person, and there's a lot of potential here. At the same time, Sagittarius, I think there's a piece of you, the very feminine piece of you, whether you're male or female, the very emotional piece of you that at times feels alone. You know, and I said this to Aries, and I find it's true for I find it's true for all of the fire signs. Fire signs in general like to appear like they don't need anybody on the surface. It's part of your fiery nature, you know. But I think there's a small piece of you, Sagittarius, that feels like you maybe aren't able to cope or connect or express maybe how alone you feel sometimes. I'm getting like really emotional for you right now. I think that there's a guard up in what you show people or what you show this person as to the depth of your emotion, even though they see it. They clearly see it. And it's like kind of a covering. It's like the inner child of you. That's an interesting message to get. Your inner child hasn't really healed yet. And I think that the retrograde is pulling that up in you, and that's why you might be going back and forth between wanting to be comforted and then kind of wanting to be left alone. And it's confusing the hell out of this person, or has confused them. You know, and it kind of makes them a little bit uncertain, untrusting. And they end up in the King of Swords energy at the end of this time period, which is how you started. So they may detach emotionally, push away a little bit, kind of put their focus elsewhere, because I feel like I feel like they don't really know what to do with you. Okay? So I'm actually going to get a guidance card on this one. What's the guidance? Wow, the Two of Cups, partnership, and the Devil card, Capricorn energy. Some of you want to be freed of this relationship, and that's why you're like this. Okay, quite literally, some of you want to walk away, or it could be vice versa, but I feel it on your side mostly. But maybe you feel bound or obligated here, okay? Now, not all of you, do you want that? Some of you, it's a deep connection, but it's a battle between trying to find, I guess, a common ground or compromise in a relationship between coming together, but also having your freedom. You know what I'm saying? And maybe a sense or a part of you feels like you can't have that with this person. Like maybe this person's very codependent on you, for a few of you, or vice versa. And that's what you want to leave behind, you know. Either way, I feel like overall the message is that it's okay to establish your own personal sense of freedom while also holding a connection, as long as you're respectful of the other person's needs and wants, if this is intimate. For others of you, like I said, you might literally be ending one partnership here. But I feel like that's a small group of you, not a whole lot of you are going to fall into that. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing here, Sagittarius. So whether you're in group 1 or group 2, the zodiac signs I have out that you could be dealing with are, like I said, Capricorn. I've got water, Pisces, Taurus energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Possibilities here. Let's see if I see any others. Yeah, those are the primary zodiac signs I'm seeing, but just keep in mind that it's going to be different for all of you. Those could be placements in your chart or the chart of the person you're dealing with, and or that could just be the energy surrounding this situation this month. Either way, I wish you the very best. Keep in mind it can also be interchangeable, okay, because it's a general. And until next time, my friends, I love you and namaste. Bye.